Hey guys, and welcome to episode 1 of Let's Bring Paper to Life. Today we're going to be creating this fun, interactive pop-out card. Super easy to create. This particular one was created using the Farm Digital Collection. What's so fun about this project is that it actually fits into a larger size envelope. So if you fold it all in down, it'll fit into a regular size 8 and 1/4 by 5 and 3/4 envelope. So this is just a bigger card size envelope and it fits flat in one of these. So super cool. Once you pop that out, it stands up to create this fun star or step type element. So what we're going to need is we're going to need several pieces, and I've already pre-cut several of them using my newest collection, Cool Summer. So this is just a printed digital collection. You can download it on our website at 88andclear.com. And it's super fun, it's exciting, and it's got some amazing pieces, bells and whistles. It also comes with a collection of printable ephemera. So we're going to be using these to create another one of these fun step cards. And let's get started. So the first piece that we need is we need a background part for our card that measures 8 inches wide by 5.5 inches tall. I've gone in and I've scored this in the center at 4 inches. I'm sorry. So 8 inches long, 5.5 inches tall, and I've come in and I've scored at 4 inches. So I'm going to fold that score. Now what I want to do is I want to create a little notch here with a pencil on both sides at a 2.5 inch mark. So I'm going to bring this to 2.5 inches and I'm just going to create a little pencil mark. 2.5 inches and I'm going to create a little pencil mark. So now we've got a little pencil mark. I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer. And we want to go from pencil mark to the top of our score line. So sometimes I like to just kind of bring in whatever paper trimmer you want to use. If it's actually simpler for you to use a 12 inch, you can also do that. So we're going to bring in a paper trimmer. And again, I want to make sure you can see a little bit better. That pencil mark is there, and that score line meets there. So from the pencil mark to my score line, I'm going to create a cut. I'm going to do the same thing on the opposite side. Score line, pencil mark. I'm going to create a cut. And now we've got this little peak card, okay? Check. The next piece that we're going to be working on is a little different. This one I've already cut as well. Is a 5 inches long by 2.5 inches tall. I've scored at 1/4 of an inch, at 2.5 inches, and again at 1/4 of an inch on this end, which could also be 4.5. So if you're going just along the way, 1/4 of an inch, or I'm sorry, 1/2 an inch, 2.5 in the center, and 4.5 on the end. So let's go ahead and fold those score lines. So we should have something that looks like this. This will be adhered to our center. So let's go ahead and do that now. I do like to use both a little bit of the strip tape in addition to a little bit of liquid tape, because it's this type of project tends to get played with quite a bit. So we're gonna add adhesive to both those tabs. We're gonna grab some liquid glue just to make sure that our tabs do not come apart. And now that we're here, we're gonna wanna fold those in. We're gonna start from the center. So fold that up. Because what we're gonna do is we're gonna line the score lines. So line up our score lines, and then we're gonna bring in that tab, and just fold it over. We've lined up the score lines, we're gonna bring in that tab, and we're gonna fold it over. So we're gonna press, and we should have our first opening. Okay. We want to continue to make sure that we're pressing flat so that it all ends up matching up perfectly. I'm just going to grab a clear block because I did add liquid glue just to make sure that's continuing to hold down my piece. So that was our second piece, guys. Now we're going to work on our third piece. Our third piece is a grand piece of 2.5 inches tall by 7 inches long. So 2.5 inches tall by 7 inches long. This one we're going to score out 1/2 inch. We're also going to score at 3.5. So at 1/2 inch score, 3.5 inch score, and here we have a 6.5 inch score. Okay, so let's go ahead and fold all of our score lines. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to add some adhesive. Let me make sure I press this down. We're going to bring in some liquid glue. Now we're going to come back over here, attach or align those score lines all the way through, top and bottom. Line them up. Make sure they match up. Make sure you're even on both sides. And now that we've done that, we're going to come in here and we're going to tuck that strip and tuck that strip. Press. And now we have our third pop-up layer. Again, press that down. Make sure that that wet glue dries up. All right. Our next piece is just a little bit trickier because it's really long. So it's a little bit longer. It's the longest piece that we have, okay? This one is significantly different than my original because I wanted it to be one solid piece versus two pieces that would open up like a gate. So instead of going with the gate, I decided to go with one solid piece. It just keeps everything unified and together a lot better. The height of this, so it is 2.5 inches tall by 9 inches long. I've scored at 1/2 inch, I scored at 4.5, and I scored at 8.5. 1/2 inch, 4.5, and 8.5. I also brought in my paper trimmer to give it a little marking at 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to bring this to 3/4 of an inch on my paper trimmer, and right where that center score line is, I'm going to create just a little notch because I want this to be my marking point. I don't want a pencil mark on there. I just want a little notch. Now what I want to do is I'm going to connect the dots. So from this score line to that notch and to that score line. So I've got score line, score line. So I'm basically connecting top of the score line to the score line where that little notch is. So let's go ahead and create that cut up until we see that notch. Now we're gonna turn it around, connect this score line to that notch again. And we're gonna create that cut. You should have this part that is no longer necessary, and we have this little like bow tie piece. We're gonna go ahead and fold the end score lines, and we're gonna fold that center up. So you should have something that looks like this. Now what I like to do is I do like to come in here and trim off that peak. So see how this is folded over? Well, I don't want it to show on my project, so I'm just gonna come in and remove that. We're gonna go ahead and add our tape, our liquid glue, I can't wait to see what you guys create using this fun card tutorial. Oops. We're gonna go ahead and add some liquid glue. Now what we want to do is we're going to bring that into our card base. Again, line up those score lines perfectly. And we're going to come in and tuck down that edge and tuck down that edge. Make sure you fasten. And now you have all three of those fun layers. Look how fun that looks, guys. It really pops out. And now it's just time to bring it to life with all kinds of different fun pieces from our ephemera that is part of the Cool Summer Digi Collection. So let's get to it. We've got all these cool, no pun intended, pieces that we want to be able to attach. So it's just about picking and choosing what is going to be the best method or opportunity to bring this collection or this paper print to life. So I think I like this over here. When in doubt, we're going to want to pop this out. So let's go ahead and add this fun bloom. It kind of coordinates with those pieces. And then to help build that, we're going to go ahead and add a foam piece to the backing and then attach it to the back. So see how it just kind of creates these gorgeous layers. We're going to do that with this side here too. Now ultimately keep in mind that you want it to fold. So remember, it's going to fold this way. So just make sure you have yourself plenty of room. So it won't matter if this is overlapping because it's going to fold this way. See? You're not folding this way, you're folding this way to be able to send it in the mail. So we've got some gorgeous layers there. We're going to bring in our toucan. Remember, it's going to close this way so you can't go far past that piece. So let's go ahead and add a little foam piece here. And we're going to bring in our little toucan all the way to the edge. Look how gorgeous this starts to layer. We're going to do another little piece here for our flamingo. We want him to be behind. Look how fun, guys. And again, they fold beautifully. They don't get in the way. We definitely want to add our beach vibes over here. Let's start with our donut floaty. Gorgeous. Now we're gonna add our little lemonade. Our refreshing cup of lemonade. Our sentiment over here. Just so you can see a little bit better. So we've got beach, we've got lemonade, we've got layers. You can always add a sentiment if you wanted to stamp a sentiment direct on there. It would be perfectly all right. Let's go ahead and add a little bit more volume. And one more little layer. Now I want to show you guys how you can continue to work up, but without affecting. Remember, you've got up until this point. So if you wanted to add another layer here, you can certainly do that as long as you don't go past that 5-point mark, that 5.5-point mark, because then it won't fit into your envelope. So you can certainly add that piece. Let me see if there's another one that might actually look cooler here. If we wanted to just add blooms, we can add the blooms piece right there as well. So see how that would look really, really cool. So let's go ahead and play with that notion a little bit. Remember, we just don't want to go past the 5-inch mark. So let's keep that there. Beautiful. So there is our multi-layer tropical vibe, and you can still fold it and fit it into your envelope. Obviously, you do want to add a little card protector so that it doesn't get stuck anywhere, because it's not even all the way through. But that way, as long as you don't go past that 5.5-inch mark, you are perfectly okay. Beautiful. And again, if you wanted to leave some space for some journaling, you certainly can. For a sentiment, this is just a great beach project. You can add the summer vibes on this end. So I'm going to add just the summer vibes on this other end, just because we don't have a sentiment for it this second. But I think that you've got so many different amazing opportunities to make some memories this summer, featuring this amazing trifold project. It's not really a trifold, it's more of a step card in my opinion. I'm going to bring in some twine. This is just powdered sugar twine. And I am just going to double bow this. And talk about bringing paper to life. I think this certainly does bring paper to life. And I can't wait to see your project come to life. Make sure you tag us on your social media accounts so that we can see what you created. And remember, guys, this is project number 1 for this Let's Bring Paper to Life series. So we're going to go ahead, trim off the end of that. Just adds a little twine, creates a little bit of a finishing touch. And to really bring a finishing touch, we're going to bring in some Dazzling Pat in our sour watermelon. So just shake that up. Dazzling Pat comes clear, and you can actually add any of the sugar drops to bring color into it. So any of our sugar drops here create color inside of Dazzling Pat. So let's go ahead and just splatter some of these sparkles. You can also bring in some green, just adds to the freshness of the project. So let's go ahead and bring in a little bit of that green in the Tangy Apple. So again, it's just regular Dazzling Pat, but this one has a few drops of the Tangy Apple for that freshness. Alright guys, look how beautiful and sparkly our cool summer step card turned out. I hope you are excited and can't wait to create one of these fun step out cards. I can't wait to see what you've created. Until next time, guys, continue to make amazing happen and bring paper to life.